Welcome to Toffee TV, joined by Steve in the studio, me and Ped. Just going to have a quick chat about this Bramley Moor dock consultation that the council have got on their website till Friday. Listen, there's a lot of other stuff going on in the world that is far more important than this, but sometimes I think it does you good just to have a chat about something else because, you know, we know that
life's got to go on.
Life has got to go on, and I do honestly think it's good to have a chat about something else.
And also on that, this is happening on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's been cancelled. It has to be. It has to be.
It's got to be done. The Everton Heritage Society sent a letter in last week. Basically, the council have got everything up, all the ground plans. We've seen all this. We were sent it with me a while ago, and everything about the stadium. And then there's a section on there where you can leave your comments for or against whatever. And this is for the council, not for Everton.
Yeah.
It's
not another.
It's not another
fan consultation.
Yeah.
This is a public council consultation to get any grievances in. What you would think.
Or support.
Or support in to the council by Friday.
Yeah. So the Everton Heritage Society, which is obviously looks at everything, and I think it's quite key really because they do, you know, the heritage is important to them. You know, made up of historians and people like that. Wrote quite a passionate letter in support of it. So
don't like the big thing that is, if anything was ever going to stop this stadium that we've been hearing about for the last 12 months, it was the Heritage Society of it. It's where the location is. We've heard a lot about UNESCO. We've heard a lot about English heritage, basically the conservation of the site. Don't forget the docks is obviously really important to Liverpool, not only in historical terms due to trade and the city becoming the city, but also in terms of the Second World War and what the city endured through the Second World War, that the strategic location of the docks and everything meant that I think Liverpool was the second most bombed city out, most bombed city, away from London with Coventry, because they made a lot of parts in Coventry. Oh my God, I know a lot about this. I should stop watching Channel 5. Anyway, so you know, things like the dock, filling in the dock, the wall, the buildings around there, a big part of Liverpool. So to get the heritage side on is huge, because it's not just a box ticking exercise. These people, if they felt like leaving Goodison Park was against their beliefs, and they'd say so, but they haven't. They've said this is the right time.
It's the right location.
It's the right location. It's the right design. It's in keeping with our history, with the city's history, and that in mind, we are excited to move forward.
Hopefully, it makes the whole process run that much smoother. The process they're in now.
Yeah.
Like there's talk of maybe government inquiries and stuff that might maybe take that side away from it now, because
I think
the heritage side are all on board.
Possibly, I think what it'll do, it'll ease it, like you've just said. I think the government the minister will still look at it. I think because I think the nature of the build, the nature of the project means that he will probably look at it. But it's all about having the support of everywhere. Like Pez just said, all of the Everton Heritage Society look at all of those things that he's just said. They also spoke about the fact that Everton are leaving a legacy in L4, they're leaving a presence in L4, which is key as well. I mean, Steve, you've been impressed with the architectural side about the lengths that the club has gone to try to fit in with the surrounding area.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Everton are a big part of the city's history. At the end of the day, like Liverpool, and from the council's point of view and from the heritage point of view, it's good to keep that in the city still, because I feel if you would have took that away from it, then you're probably taking a bit of the character away from the new ground when it comes. So I think the ground looks unbelievable. Like I'm excited, and I'm excited for my little lad who's going to be 7 or 8 when it's built.
It's ready to go,
And but like I said, it's good the way what they're going to be doing with the Goodison area as well. The way they're going to be helping that area out, because a lot of clubs sometimes just leave it and it gets derelict, and it looks a bit scruffy, but it looks like they're redeveloping the whole area, which is good for the city as well. And at the end of the day, it's going to bring in a lot of money for the city and a lot of jobs, which is the most important, which is one of the most important things.
I mean, that it's without talking about opportunities. Obviously, with what's going on. I mean, Steve knows more than anybody with what's happened to him this week in terms of employment. Should be looked at as a positive as well, because it is going to create employment on that site.
There's going to be a lot of short-term destruction of people's lives, but hopefully it is short-term, and we'll all bounce back hopefully very quickly. And so having something like this, and again, it's not being opportunist or anything like that. If you got to like June, July, and someone said this is going to happen, and in September, October, we're going to start building this, then people would suddenly go, I feel a lot better, because, listen, we've spoke loads this week about what's happening in the world at the moment, and one of the things that is going to be a major driving force is the uncertainty over people's lives, you know what I mean, on whether their jobs and where they're getting food from and all that kind of thing. That affects mental health, and people losing a battle with mental health, which might have already been fragile anyway, is could see a lot more long-term destruction than this actual virus is. And without saying like Everton or some kind of saviours, or the city council saviours, if this was there and suddenly a lot of people who do live hand to mouth, especially people working in the building trade. My dad's worked in the building trade for 40 odd years. You know what I mean? He's been there practically forever. In fact, my dad's been so long in his job that the people he works for didn't even know what to give him for his long service award, because he's been there longer than anybody else. So those people face uncertainty all the time, and we've seen big things recently in the city collapse. We've seen the hospital go through different things. We've seen there's buildings down in Liverpool at the moment that have half built because either the building firm went bust, or a building firm were doing something maybe they shouldn't have been doing. So a project like this would give stability to the city centre, to workers in the city, and to building companies in the city for 3 years. And off the back of that would be huge news.
And then the other thing as well is that when a project goes ahead like this, it's the offshoots of it. So it's people who've got land around it. It's people who are going, you know what, there's a stadium, there's people that are going to have a hotel there that creates
opportunities,
building, it
isn't it?
Jobs.
What if you think about, the smallest possible thing is, what if at the moment you've got let's say you've got a food van, right? You say you work at the match in the fans forum at the moment, or whatever. I don't know. There's no footy. No one's really going out. No, are you really going to take a chance buying food off someone off a van at the moment? In your own head. I'm not saying they're not hygienic, but
it's just a mindset.
So if you've got something like that, and you can keep the wolves from the door for maybe a couple of months or whatever, and then this news comes up and you go, you know what, I could get down the Dock Road and I could park up, and I could... how many thousands of people are going to be working on this that need to be fed at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or whatever, or they all go
sandwich
vans and all. That's the lowest thing. That's the lowest thing, and that's how it works. That's how it works. This will go for 3. People go suddenly, oh my God, for 3 years I'm going to have stability, and that's all we want in our lives. We want stability. So this could be a very, very positive thing when we need it most. That the little bit of light. I mean, for us Evertonians, obviously we're massively biased. We want this to happen anyway. This is the mad thing. It's like, people are like, oh, I'm going to be really sad and all that kind of... I have none of that. I just want to get to this place as fast as much as I love Goodison Park. I just want to get to this place as fast as I can. I'll mourn Goodison Park when this is getting half built and we're nearly in. But at the moment, I'm just like, let's just get there. I can't wait.
Yeah. So,
it is. So at the moment, listen, going back to what you were saying before about the designs, the more you look at it, the more it becomes like more and more alive. Like you look at, I mean, we've seen this image loads and loads, but if you look at some of the fly-through videos at the moment, you see the other side and the fan zone and what they're doing actually to restore historical elements, because this is a thing
hydraulic tower, of course.
Yeah, there's something I miss from my youth is, on the other side of that road is the Heritage. My uncle had a market stall on the Heritage for like 5 years or whatever. It might have been longer, for however long it was there. Nearly every Sunday I was down there, going to see my uncle, going around all the stores, and I was always like intrigued by the history side of it. And one of the big things I used to love is, when you've seen the train tracks on the floor, and you're like, where did they go? Where did they lead to? I used to work on the railway, and I was fascinated by the railway because underneath Liverpool there's loads of like tunnels that people don't know about, and I was very privy. I could go, like, I've run from the top of James Street to the bottom of James Street downstairs. And, oh God, there's a lot of hidden places, and all these things, these old lines. I love the fact that Everton are bringing them, putting some life back into them, and that is our heritage, and that's just stored in our heritage. Because nowhere will happen if we don't. One day someone will just come, like they have done already, and pour tarmac over the top of it, and all that's gone forever then. And you hear all the time about how, we found this, like, this street under Liverpool, or we found this thing or that. It's like, what if you could preserve it in time, and as the time goes by, people go to visit and go, wait, what was this railway track? And someone goes, suddenly you can do something about that with it. I don't know. That allows, who's to say that through this stadium, all these old elements of the docks you can start finding out the history. Because otherwise, all what'll happen is, one day in the future, when all these people don't have power, all these heritage societies in ESCO and all that don't have power, someone will just come along and go, I'll just dig that up. That's your history. That's your history that they're covering up. And Everton are trying to maintain that. And it'd be lovely if they had, like, I don't know if they will or not, but say like the pump house, put like a little thing outside it, explaining what, like you seeing like national. Explain. And I imagine everyone are probably already thinking about that. Explaining these train tracks used to link the docks to the main line, so that this could go out. And you know what? People might walk down there on match day and have a little look around, and you know the way now you go down the pier heads and you have a little look around, there's all the statues. Used to say they don't go down there. It becomes a historical trail, then, doesn't it? That's what I mean. That's what I want Everton to do with this stadium. Make the history about the city as well. It's not just for us. This is for people coming into the city. They're going to see this huge stadium, and they're going to be like, "Oh, let's go down there and have a look down there." And let's get the history. And then they find more history out about the city, and then they go back and they want to come back again, and then they want to tell other people, just word of mouth. And with this as well, it's going to the hotel businesses, the food business, the restaurants in the cities, while people are working on it as well. Because people might be coming from all across the country to work on this stadium, who are going to be putting money into this city, which is important. What people like is stability. What they always say, the markets like stability. They like to know what's going on. And if you can put an anchor point in the city and say, this is going to be getting built for 3 years, that's guaranteed. All those hotels like you've just been talking about, they breathe out. They go, sound. We can build something down there. Build another one. Yeah, and we've got the 10 Streets project. That's what I'm saying. And all those 10 streets suddenly then go, that you just said the word, that's the anchor point for all that then, because they go, no matter what happens in people's lives, this football stadium will bring people into the stadium, so there's a need for us then. Rather than that chaos. If that is not getting built, there's chaos then. There's uncertainty. Money, as we just said, the markets doesn't like uncertainty. No. You wouldn't lend money to me if I couldn't guarantee to you that I can pay it back. And this is like the guarantor for everything else. And that's what, like, people might think we're going over the top about it, but we're not. This is the guarantor. This is the thing at the end that goes, yes, everything else can go on. And obviously, from an aesthetic point, it means that the city stretches, sprawls from where it is, and then everything fills in. Because when you go around there at the moment, there's nothing going on there. So, and the great thing about the stadium design, and it's totally different to any other stadium, new design out there, which is important for me. Because I look at a lot of stadiums these days that are getting built, they all look a lot the same, and it's just the same old circle and all that. But this is different to anything out there. Well, that's what which is amazing. The club and Dan Mish have done unbelievable. Which is but a lot of that for me fitted that. But a lot of that to me has to do with the surroundings as well. Exactly. It's not just like a thing plonked in the middle of somewhere, or a thing plonked in the middle of a shopping centre or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It is a thing surrounded by the city's history. And all of the brick and everything fits in. That's what I mean. You look at like a lot of the, even like I've been down to Middlesbrough before and Sunderland's ground, and they like you just said, their grounds have just been plonked. But the thing about Middlesbrough, exactly. Middlesbrough's just plonked. I went to industrial. I went to Southampton this season. Christ, it's just But the other thing about it is that we take a lot of the stuff down there for granted. You know, like you go down to like the Titanic Hotel, you just, and as I said, I grew up, you know, around there in the heritage market and all that kind of. You go down there and you look at that and you're a bit like, oh, yeah, it's the Titanic Hotel. Other people look at it like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. No, the architecture. No, like, and like when you watch like Peaky Blinders and people are like, oh, that must be, and you're like, no, that's the other side. That's what's in the heritage, in where the market was. He said that looks like, people are like, you know, like, it looks amazing.
My missus, like, she's from Manchester and she's never really been down like the docks way and looked around. She's like, why don't you come down here more often?
But there's nothing to go down there for.
Exactly.
And the mad thing is when the 80s, like anyone who's as old, like is like our age, our generational, you know, members like the Boys from the Black Stuff, which was a TV show in the 80s about Liverpool, people in Liverpool struggling to get work, you know. And funny thing about that show was it had a lot of mental health, men getting mental health problems, you know,
because he couldn't feed the family.
One of them ended up shooting his rabbit. Because he honestly did, because he got in such a state that he shot his rabbit. He killed it. And anyway, so there's a scene in it though when one of the fellas is walking this older fella who was a docker, and he's walking him in a wheelchair, and he's walking him around the old Albert Dock, and it's just covered in silt. It's not the Albert. There's no water. It's covered in silt. And he's walking him around. He's telling him how.
The history.
How when all the ships used to come in from all these other places.
It was and all that,
so that, you know, you're talking about like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, fellas, talking about. And you just look at it and you're like, when you watch it, look it back, if anyone was to tell you that was the Albert Dock, you'd be amazed, because it's like the Albert Dock now, which has gone through its own different things, but it's now called the Royal Albert Dock, and it's an amazing place.
I was there Friday, the restaurant and stuff there in Gusto, and walking along, and you're walking along just looking at it going,
and if anyone goes there like either in the winter or summer's a good time, like late on when all the lights are on, but you've still got that light, it looks amazing. It's people, I remember when I was on the cabs and you drive past and people go, this place looks amazing, how gorgeous is this? So when you look at that area now, think about like that in 5 years time, if that can have the same effect. If we look at it now and we go, so for some people it's hard to picture, or people go, oh, you can't be turning that into something else, and you go, yeah, but look if someone had said that if someone had said to the Albert Dock in the 80s, this is a World Heritage Site, you can't do nothing, leave the silt there. Now you'd be like, it'd just be a tip, it'd be wasteland. It will have turned into nothing, and all the other things it would have generated to the side of it, the arena and all the stuff we get from that, the conference centre, there's more stuff going on.
The Beatles Museum,
the King's Dock's just been given granted to build something else on it, so that's going to have more stuff. So if you think about that and think, if we just leave it, it'll just get worse and worse and worse. And like you've just said, there's some amazing buildings down there that we don't utilise at the moment, and that's what this stadium will help do. So I hope that all these people who are involved in UNESCO and English Heritage, that they understand that a city, and again, this is something I appreciated when I worked on the cabs, is a city is a living, breathing thing. I actually miss not having the not going into the city and being sort of like part of the city. It's a really hard thing to understand, if you know, to quantify. Just there's like almost like a buzz that you feel when you're in and around the city, and when you're not working there, you don't get the same feeling. That's created by people and going and seeing amazing things and having a shared sense of how much you love a place. And I think that's what this will help with.
And I think now, just to finish, like when you're down there, obviously Everton are at the Royal Liver buildings, and that's incredible. You look at that waterfront now, and you look at along there with all the buildings going up, great. It just looks incredible now, and this would make it stretch right the way along. There's obviously the new cruise terminal that's coming as well. So you're going to see, when you're coming into Liverpool, particularly cruises that are coming in, we see them, more and more. There's going to get bigger and bigger once the cruise terminal's there. Coming along, that waterfront's going to be incredible, and this is going to be the start of it.
And it'll make you even prouder when you're seeing it. You'll be like,
oh God.
And then I'm actually looking forward to seeing it grow each month and month and month.
And the other, a quick, good way of looking at it, if anyone's seen pictures of the Atletico Stadium from the river and how it looks. It looks amazing. Yeah. It looks amazing. And if you were to get, like you've just said, if you were to get cruise ships coming into Liverpool like we do now, as they're coming down, and the first thing they see,
first question they'll be like, is
what is that? What is that? And then suddenly from that, the city will start there, and from that, all this development we'll see, and it will transform. And literally all it takes is a few people to just got to make a common sense decision. As far as I know we're biased, but a very common sense decision, and just say
yes,
let's go. Because there are literally no like negatives to this.
Not like
literally, like if someone said to me, "Oh, if you put a stadium in, it's going to uproot all these birds or something," and blah blah blah, then I can understand that would be something negative.
Yeah.
But there is nothing
it's not
negative.
It's a win-win for everyone.
So listen, you've got till Friday.
I think they should send this video to the heritage people.
Well, there you go. You've got till Friday to register any negative comments about it if you want to. But also support, massively support, because for the whole city, it's going to be incredible. So yeah, have a look. We'll put in the description the link to where you go to. You can email or go online. So get that done. Got till Friday to do that. So make sure you register your voice with support.
Yeah,
that's what you can do, isn't it? And then fingers crossed it gets done.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want more videos, join us on Patreon. See you later.